watching this, then you've likely been in a situation, an interview situation, where you felt like the interviewer was trying to set you up, giving you those tricky questions so that they can say to you, gotcha. And you may have even felt like the questions that they're asking you, that they're trying to just stump you and get you all flustered in your responses. Well, that's okay. It's okay today because keep watching and listening to TalentSmiths Lunch and Learn Live as I share with you some best answers for those tricky questions. Mhm. Today, we're going to talk about how to best answer some tricky Zoom questions. Hello, everyone. Janet Smith here of TalentSmiths, and this is Lunch and Learn Live. Welcome. TalentSmiths is looking to partner with new organizations in the new year. If you are an organization looking to grow your human resources, we'd love to chat with you to see if a partnership is in line. We have partnered with some organizations and are looking to fill a human resources manager, a human resources generalist, and a director of talent acquisition. If your skills are in alignment with these areas, I encourage you to register with TalentSmiths so that we can chat about it. If you have questions about any of these positions, comment below and let me know. I will answer your questions in the comments. You can tune into Lunch and Learn Live every Thursday at 1:30, live on LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as on Facebook. And all this month, we're talking about history. After all, it is Black History Month. It's February. Here's the lineup of events that we have for you this month. Lean in. In February, I want to help you to share your story. You are going to make history this month in your interview. Interviews in 2021 look different than 2020 and different than 2019 as well. Each week, we're walking through you sharing the narrative of your story through your interviews. This is week 2, and we're talking about 7 tricky Zoom interview questions to help you get the best answer to some of those questions you may have felt were tricky. If you've missed week 1, I encourage you to watch the replay as well as to tune in next week and the last week for our interviewing in 2021 series. In week 4, we're going to talk about making history and her story. So in February, you are sharing the narrative of your very own story, which makes her story. Yes, you can purchase this TalentSmiths merch by following the link in our description. Celebrating your story, celebrating the fact that you are sharing the narrative of your very own story to all my women out there. Celebrate her story. I want to celebrate you. Get your merch so that you can celebrate yourself and others as well in the month of February and every month after that. So, today we're going to talk about 7 tricky Zoom interview questions for 2021. But before we do that, I have a question for you. What is the trickiest question that you've had? Hmm? Comment below and let me know. I want to see what questions you've had for all of you that are watching, for you that are watching. What tricky questions have you had? I'd really love to know how you answered those questions, but let me know if you've had any tricky questions during your interview. I'm curious to know. So, we're going to talk about tricky interview questions. So, let's lean in so that you can see this a little bit closer. So, tricky interview questions, what are they? Well, it's a question that's challenging, it's a question that's tough, but really, it's a question that the interviewer, the potential employer, is using to determine how you're going to be a fit for the position and if you're going to be a fit for the position. So let's go into some questions. Question number one: describe yourself in one word. This can be a tricky interview question because although whatever your answer is, it's not a wrong answer, but it could be a wrong answer for the potential employer. This is a tricky interview question. Shouldn't be asked, but it is. You can't control the questions asked by the interviewer, but you can control your responses and your preparation for this tricky interview question. So, how do you answer this question? Well, you want to answer this question that shows a benefit to the potential employer. You want to answer this question that shows a benefit to the potential interviewer. Mhm. So, in one word, you want to share with them and show them that you are the employee of choice. You are driven, you are loyal, you have integrity. These are just a few of the words that you can use. You want to definitely make sure that you're showing that you're a benefit to the employer and that you always do the right thing. Shine. So, question number two: why do you want to leave your job? This could be a tricky question. Here's how you can answer this question. So, what do you want to say? You want to definitely be positive about your previous employer. Do not want to go in there spreading negativity about your previous employer because that will look bad on you. You want to just give a kudos to your current employer, but you also want to let them know that you're just looking and you're ready for a new challenge. You're ready for growth. You're ready to take your career to the next level because maybe you are not able to share all the gifts that you have in your current position. Maybe you aren't able to share all of the skills that you have in your current position. Let them know you are ready for a challenge. Mhm. So, question number three: what is your greatest achievement? Is this a tricky question? Well, it depends on how you answer this question. How can you answer this question? You can answer this question several ways. You can make it personal, but I suggest that you make it work related because, after all, the potential employer wants to know how you will be at work. You can make this answer work related. When you worked with your team, you achieved great success, a work related achievement. Question number four: what is your biggest weakness? Lots of people, myself included, in the past have pondered over how to answer this question. So, how do you answer this question? What's your biggest weakness? Well, you want to give a positive weakness, and you want to give a positive weakness that doesn't necessarily affect the particular role for which you're applying. You can give an answer that talks about your work life balance, that you're working on bettering your work life balance because we all are working on having a better balance of work and a better balance of our personal lives. So you want to make sure that you let them know that you want to take time for your family and you want to be a dedicated employee, and balancing those out together is not necessarily 50-50. The balance could be 70-30. Whatever balance works. Everyone's work life balance is different. So, question number five: how do you define success? Is that a tricky question? Well, it could be. Let's look at how you can answer this question. What they're looking or what they're listening for is if you define success on an individual basis or if you define success on a team or a company wide basis. There's no right or wrong answer. However, you want to give a response that is a benefit to the hiring manager, a benefit to the employer. So your success could be building the company's success, building the success of your team. You could put both in there, a personal as well as a company's success, however you define it. But make sure that it's a benefit to the hiring manager, to the company, to the potential employer, to your potential employer. And if you haven't already, before we go into the next question or the last two questions, I encourage you to subscribe to TalentSmith's YouTube channel because our latest productivity music playlist is now available for February. You can listen to a productivity music playlist to help you get through those tasks through the day, to help you get through those exercise tasks, those work tasks, whatever chore you need to do. Listening to music can help you focus on getting the work done. And if you've missed any of our previous videos, I encourage you to binge watch and subscribe so that you can hone in on leveling up your interview skills. Leveling up your career in 2021, leveling up those interview skills coincide with quantifying the experience on your resume, writing a disruptive cover letter, and optimizing your LinkedIn profile. These are all things that your potential employer will look at before calling you in for an interview. In TalentSmith's Level Up Career Planner, we walk you through step by step in our worksheets on how to update your resume and make sure that you quantify the experience on your resume. And your cover letter should not be another copy of your resume. We help you to write a disruptive cover letter that gets read. It's the voice of your resume. It is not a duplicate copy of your resume. And you want to optimize your LinkedIn profile because that is where your potential clients and customers are. We also show you how to grow your network on LinkedIn. So let's get back into those questions. Question number 6. Have you ever disagreed with how your manager wanted you to handle a task? Is that not everyone? Maybe it's not everyone, but it could be a tricky question depending upon how you answer. How should you answer this question? So let's talk about it. So, with this question, it's okay if you have disagreed with a past manager. So, whether you say yes or whether you say no, that is okay. But what you should do, what you should focus on, is you should focus on how you showed respect for your manager if you did respectfully disagree with them. So elaborate on your response if you're saying yes or if you're saying no. So if you disagreed with your manager, just let them know that, there have been a few occasions where I have disagreed with my manager, but I provided suggestions where I respectfully explained the benefits of my suggestions. So if the manager took you up on your suggestions, or even if they didn't, let them know that you respectfully disagreed or that your manager took into consideration your suggestion. If they took your suggestion into consideration or not, it really doesn't matter in this situation. What matters is that you showed respect for your manager's position. That is what they want to know, how you're going to get along with the team. So let's go into the last question that we have. The last question is question number 7. Tell me about a mistake you made on the job. Is this a tricky question? It could be, but it doesn't have to be. So let's look at how you can answer this question. It's okay to make a mistake. First of all, we all make mistakes. It's okay. But you want to show how you took ownership of that mistake, of whatever mistake you are preparing to share with them. You want to also share with them how you took ownership of that mistake. So you let them know that you made the mistake in your previous role, what you did, how you fixed it, and what you learned. What did you learn from this mistake that you made so that you won't do it again, so that you can be even better the next time, right? Of course, because this is all about your growth as an individual and your potential growth with your potential employer, your growth in that company. So it's okay if you've made a mistake. That is how you can answer that question. Definitely let me know if any of these responses, if any of these answers are helping you to craft your very own. Comment and let me know if you've had any, I'm going to use that moment while we've talked about these tricky questions and answers. I'm curious to know. Let me know if any of them have helped you. I'd like to know. If you want to download the full list of 21 questions, the top interview questions and answers, you'll find the link in the description so that you can prepare for your upcoming interview so that you won't be stumped, you won't be nervous, and you won't feel like they're tricking you. You'll be prepared, well prepared for all of those interview questions. And if you have any other questions, comment below and let me know. I'm answering your questions in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you've experienced in tricky interview questions. And here at TalentSmiths, we are meeting you where you are. You can reach out to us on your social media platform of choice on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as well as Twitter and LinkedIn.